Instagram ads are literally the best thing that's ever happened in my coaching business. And today I'm going to break down exactly what's working heading into 2025 so that you can start generating leads on autopilot. So if you're a high ticket coach, this video is going to be for you. My name is Latice Hudson. I'm an online business coach and mentor, and I really specialize in helping coaches, course creators, service providers just like you generate leads on autopilot using the power of Instagram ads and DM automation. So let's get into this video. I've spent well over $300,000 on ads, and I'm constantly testing, constantly looking at the market, constantly trying out new ideas. So this is truly what's working right now. And I'm going to show you what's working in my business so that you can apply it to yours. So let's get into it. I have a nice little Google Doc. Y'all know I always come with the heat. So let's get into it. Let's break down what's working. So you may have a few different questions when it comes to Instagram ads, whether you're brand new to running ads or if you've ran ads in the past. Perhaps you're at this point. Maybe you're asking, okay, Latice, how do I actually get my ads to work? Maybe you worked with an agency before and you're like, Latice, it didn't work for me or super expensive. How do I actually get my ads to work? Perhaps you're also asking, like, how do I not lose money on ads? Maybe you're asking, what's working right now and what's not working. Maybe another question you're asking is, how much should I be spending on ads per day? How soon do I see sales? And can I run ads for both my digital products and courses and my high ticket at the same time? So my goal is to get through and answer all these questions throughout this training today. So if you have any of these questions, again, I'm going to get to it and answer these questions because at the end of the day, I want you guys to be caught up to speed on what's actually working. So first thing I need you guys to understand though about ads specifically is that the goal of any type of ad, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, wherever, Twitter, is to drive traffic. That's it. That's the goal of ads. I need y'all to understand that. We need to get that engulfed in our brain. The goal of ads is to drive traffic. And I'm so sorry that maybe you've been lied to that ads are the magic formula. I'm not going to lie though. Ads have truly changed my life. And you have to understand that no matter how much you've sold organically, you running ads to an audience that doesn't know you is a game changer. Okay. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't trust you. So don't be entitled. Just learn the skill to do it right. Okay. So you have to speak to them differently. And I always give this analogy. If you are going out on a first date with somebody, you are going to probably act way different than if you're going out with them on the 100th date. It's not saying that you're going to be good, bad, or anything in between, but it's saying that your presence, what you wear, your posture, your tone of voice, your personality may be a little bit altered, okay? Because you are talking to them and meeting them for the first time. So it's the same concept when you're running ads. We have to speak to them differently, treat them differently because they are different. We don't know them yet. So if you've ever ran into issues with ads, maybe you've tried to run ads before, maybe you've tried to boost posts, which I don't recommend. But if you try to do any of that, the reason why your ads didn't work is one of these three reasons, right? A, you have a messaging and offer issue. That means that people just don't want the thing that you're selling. And maybe the way that you're describing it, the copy that you're writing, it's not persuasive enough, it's not direct enough, and it's not actually getting them to have that sparkle or that twink in their eye for them to get through and not only click, but actually take the next step. Okay. So that's usually that's actually the most common reason why people's ads don't convert because they're not actually speaking in a way that brings in their most ideal clients. They're not calling them out. They're not telling them about the results that you've gotten for yourself or your clients, and you're not asking them to take the next step. So we're going to fix that today. Another reason is maybe you're not spending enough ad spend. We have to be realistic. If you're selling a $5,000 offer and you're only spending $5 a day, it's going to probably take you a good 2 to 3 days to even get one lead, right? And then from there, to be realistic, we really need to have 100 people go through our funnel to get data, right? If you don't have any data, and again, just because you've sold your offer organically does not mean the same way that you're messaging it with an ad it's going to sell. Okay. Those are two very different people that we're speaking to. So if you're not spending enough money on ads, you're not going to get enough data. And when we don't have enough data, we can't make any decisions. Okay. So I need you to understand that if you're not spending enough on ads, it's going to be slow rolling to get the data. And I get everybody has a budget. I totally understand. So if you have a small budget, then you have to basically supplement with doing organic marketing as well, right? Reels, YouTube, what have you, so that you're able to get the traffic that you need. Okay. The last part is that a lot of people I see when they run ads, they're doing it with the wrong campaign. Maybe they're running traffic ads or they're running awareness ads or they're boosting posts, right? When you are running those type of ad campaigns, you're not optimizing for the objective of leads and sales. Okay. Facebook is very, very smart. If you guys don't know, Facebook owns Instagram, Meta, whatever, right? So anytime I talk about Facebook, I'm also talking about Instagram, but I've just like really niched down, and I'm obsessed with using Instagram ads because of the automation that you can use with it. Okay. So if you've not seen results with your ads, have no fear. Letice the ad whisperer is here, right? I got you. Okay. So what I also need you to understand though is, unless you're retargeting an audience that already knows you, like your email list, your Instagram audience, etc., don't use boosts, don't use brand awareness, don't use reach, don't use traffic ads. Okay. You can use all that stuff later for retargeting, but right now we're focused on cold traffic. We're focused on people that don't know you yet, because how you grow your business, in order to grow your business, you have to speak to people that don't know you. Okay. Point blank, period, all day, every day. Okay. So we're going to be focusing on engagement, leads, and sales ads. And for the purpose of this video, we're going to be talking mostly about lead ads, because this is going to be the quickest way to get leads in, grow your email list, and then eventually turn those leads into customers and clients. All right. So real quick, I'm going to zoom in here. This is a funnel I use for all of my clients. Now it definitely, let me make this a little bit smaller. Let me come back and make that smaller. But here's the thing, you guys, the most common funnel is going to be a book a call funnel. Now, if you guys have been in my world for any amount of time, I personally don't like sales calls. I've done tons of them in the past, 2019, early 2020, when I was really like getting my business rolling, but we don't do them anymore. But for the purpose of this video, right, like this book a call funnel we can basically use it you can use it to book calls. We can set it up where you can use it to get applications. And I'm going to kind of talk about the guidelines there, but overall, like at the end of the day, book a call funnel, DM enrollment funnel, it's very similar. There's a couple of different parts on the back end, but for the most part, when we talk about the ads section, the ads are going to be the same, regardless if we're booking a call or doing DM enrollments. Okay. So my screen is fixed down. So let's take a look, trying to make this as big as possible. So here's what it looks like, right? You're going to first start off, and this is my recommendation, is to, especially with the way Instagram is working right now, I'm really loving reel ads and carousel ads, particularly. So personally, I think that you should go on a content sprint. So for the next like 8 to 10 days, right, I want you to post content every single day. Now, this is the only time I will ever tell you to post content, typically every single day. But I want you to basically go on this content sprint so that you're getting data. Okay. If you have an engaged audience, you sold your offers before, again, just because you sold it before doesn't mean it will sell, but we're going to be optimizing for cold traffic. So I want you to go on a content sprint between, 7, 8 to 10 days. And then over that course of time, what you're looking for, and I'm going to give you some guidelines in a second, you're looking for the content that performs the best. So the content that gets the most likes, the most comments, the most saves. That content tells me a story. And what that story tells me is that it's what people are actually liking. Okay. So if we can get that data, this is how we're going to save more money on ads, because we're not spending a bunch of money on ads that aren't working. Now you could do the same process with ads with a low budget of $10 or $15 total, right? But if you are already creating organic content and you're new to ads, I would say go ahead and split test your hooks and your content and your frameworks with your organic audience first. And then we're going to take that best performing content and we're going to use that as ads. Okay. From there, we are going to optimize for leads. Okay. We're going to optimize for leads and we're going to send them all through Messenger. The reason why I'm literally so obsessed with Messenger ads, and I have been for the last 3 years since they rolled it out in August 2021, IG DM automation wasn't around before that. I was an OG user of it. Is the reason why I'm obsessed with it is because you get real life feedback, because you're able to see inside of the inbox, right? These leads that are like real people. You can see their profile picture, you can see their profile. It's awesome. So you can get that real life data to see what the quality is like. You can have a conversation. It just, in my opinion, it speeds up the sales process so much quicker. From there, they're going to write into the DM box. Then from there, you're going to send them to a lead magnet, right? Because in order to get somebody's email, which we need to give them some value, right? And not just like a checklist or a random guide. It really needs to answer a few different questions, which we're going to go over here in a second. From there, you're going to have emails that go out that are going to be telling a story, showing social proof, case studies. It's going to be handling their objections, etc. And then from there, you're all pointing it back to that next step in the sales process, which is inviting them to schedule a call. And this is all done automatically, you guys. Like the way we teach funnels and set up funnels is all automatic, right? So from there, they're going to be invited to schedule a call automatically, enter your piece of content. And from there, you take the sales call and then enroll them, right? Now, if you're doing DM sales, there's a few different different pieces. I talk about that in some other videos. So I'll link one of my like DM enrollment funnel, what that looks like below. But for the gist of this video, this is what we need. Okay. Now I know this is an ads video, but I need you guys to understand that like without having a full funnel in place, you are going to be wasting money, point blank, period. You'll be wasting money because it's basically kind of like the dating example. Asking you meet somebody on a day and ask them to go home right away. Gross. We're not doing that. Okay. So when you are trying to sell, I've seen people be like, join my coaching program for 5K today, like save $1,000. Like I've seen ads like that to people I've never seen before. So it's not like I was in their warm audience. It's not like it's people I knew. People are literally sending traffic to ice cold audiences, telling them to give me $5,000 right now. That's insane. In order to build know, like, trust, you guys, you have to send them through a process, period. You cannot just pop up an ad and be like, buy my stuff, because it's not going to happen. You have to take them on a journey. Okay. So this is why I'm so heavily focused on you building a lead magnet and a actual process first. And then the ads are going to be so much simpler. Okay. So this is the order that you need to do it. Now, when we talk about lead magnets, a lead magnet simply is a way to attract new people to you. You give them an exchange of value, you get their email, and now they're in your audience and you're building community with them and you're asking them to take the next step because you're solving their problem. So here are the 5 things that any good lead magnet should have at the simplest form. A, it should build rapport. And you can build rapport by giving social proof, showing client case studies, testimonials. Next, you want to create connection. People buy when they feel connected to you. So you want to share a little bit about your story. This isn't going to be a 10-minute webinar, like a 10-minute part of your webinar or anything, but you're going to create connection and show them that you were once them before, right? Because at the end of the day, you are selling, as a coach, you are selling your story essentially and solving their problem. C, you should explain your process from A to Z. This is where like 95% of people go wrong when they're trying to build a lead magnet, is that they don't actually explain how they can help people. They're just giving like a random guide or a random checklist. Like, here's a little checklist of 5 things you should do every day. But that's not exactly how you're going to build that rapport, and that, like, you're not actually nurturing people. So instead, you want to use one of these 3 options. You can use a video sales letter. We teach that. You can use a PDF guide. We also teach that. And then something new that we're teaching and we're trying out is a full Google Doc course that kind of it's kind of very much over delivery, but it shows exactly how you help your clients, especially if you're in a more competitive niche like me, where I'm helping with ads. If you're like social media coach, or if you're a sales coach or a marketing coach, or even health and fitness, you may want to look at doing a full Google Doc course. It can usually be anywhere from 8 to, I've seen 40 pages. It's going to take time to create, but once you create it, it's done. And now you are overperforming and over delivering on value that there's no reason for people but to trust you. Okay. So that's part C. The 4th part of this is the lead magnet also needs to handle objections. Okay. What happens way too often is people wait till they get to the sales call or the DM portion to enroll, where they're trying to handle all these objections. They're trying to handle objections. They're trying to like basically do these 3 layers deep, which I used to teach. Like, that's really common in sales, but the new era of sales is not handling objections at the very last minute. The new era of sales is handling objections before they even get to the portion where they're going to enroll to work with you. Okay. So how do we do this in our lead magnet? We call it our potential skepticism. We use case studies, right? We like use cases of, for example, like one of the use cases I teach is like how you can use ads, to grow. Like, I'll do a case study of like, here's one of my clients that was a holistic health coach that grew her, her first month, she did 10K with ads, right? And spent $1,800. Or, things like that. And then also answer their pressing questions. So kind of like I did at the beginning of this video, I laid out all the common questions you guys have about ads. So by the time, if you ever want to work with me in any capacity, I've already answered those questions for you, right? And I've given you proof, and I've backed it up, okay? So answer their pressing questions in your lead magnets, okay? The last part is giving them a call to action. And this is where I see so many coaches, they fail. They never ask people to take the next step. As humans, we need the next step. Okay. We don't just naturally jump in and take the next step. Okay, honey, we need the next step. So one of 2 options is either going to be to book a call, right? If you're a newer stage coach and you're just starting out, then you want to book a call. If you're not, it could be apply to work with us, or slash send me a DM for more information, right? You're asking them to take the next step. Okay. No sales call necessary. When you ask people to take the next step, naturally, what's going to happen? They're going to take the next step. So we need to be really mindful and cognizant that anytime that we are creating content, anytime we're delivering this lead magnet that also runs 24/7, this is how you're getting booked calls in your calendar every day, you're getting inquiries, is because you're actually asking them to take the next step. Because if we're here to solve their problem, shoot, let's solve their freaking problem, period. And you can't solve their, like, you can solve their problem to an extent with free content, but at some point, the next level of solving the problem requires a payment and it requires them taking action and betting on themselves. Okay. So we have to move them to the sales process every single day. It can't just stop with, like, here's all my great content, but it's kind of like a cliffhanger in a movie. If somebody, if you go to a movie and it's like, the best movie ever, and you're at the edge of your seat by the end of the movie, you want to know what's next. You want a sequel already. So your call to action is like giving them a sequel immediately, because the sequel is you working with them and solving their problem in real time, in real life, with the payment involved. Okay. Point blank, period. So that's your lead magnet. Okay. So we love, personally, I think my favorite lead magnet has been our mini course, which is a video sales letter. And then also, I think our next best lead magnet is going to be this Google Doc course that I've been working on. So keep paying attention to the channel. It'll be coming out in a couple weeks, but I think those two are going to really crush in 2025. Okay. PDFs are working really phenomenally, especially in niches where it's not super saturated. People love to read, but I would argue to say, create your video sales letter and create the PDF at the same time, because it's the same content, just in two different ways of delivery. All right. Part 2 of this is, if we want to really maximize our ads, and we're going to talk about all the ads in just a second, I want you to deliver the lead magnet automatically with Manychat through email, right? So this is real simple. I'll go more into this in another video, but basically what's going to happen is a keyword is going to prompt them to enter their email. They're going to click on your ad. They're going to get prompted to enter their email. From there, it's going to automatically deliver to them based off the automations that you set up via the inbox. It's going to get delivered right in their DM inbox, which is literally amazing. Next, you're automatically going to add them. And this is all using a series of automations that are really simple to set up. They're not super hard. You don't need a tech degree. We have a bunch of templates too. So if you're interested, check the description box. I have my Manychat templates for sale if you'd like those. But you can add them right to your email software using Zapier or an internal Manychat integration. And then from there, like for more advanced, you can use different segmentation to basically reroute them back to a conversation and then automatically book a call with you to work with you or to apply to start a conversation with you. So when we found this out in 2021, like our conversions went up with this process, because the less that you have to send your leads off platform, the more engaged that they are, the more likely they're going to consume the content that they're given, and they're going to take the next step, period. Okay. So that's part 2 of this. I just want you guys to have that context as well. That's how we deliver it. Like, we deliver all of our lead magnets right through Manychat, right through Instagram DMs. Okay. Number 3. So now we're going to talk about the ads, everybody's favorite part. And I'm going to give you guys one example, one real life ad example. So let's kind of talk about how we're going to set it up. So if you want to see like the detailed walkthroughs, you can check out Ads That Convert, which is my workshop that breaks it all down. But from here, I'm going to kind of just walk you through a little bit of side of the ads manager, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the campaign type I want you guys to optimize for is going to be leads. Okay. So when you are setting up a new campaign inside of Ads Manager, you want to optimize for leads. Okay. Then from there, you want to set it up where you are tracking the conversion as a messaging conversation that started. Okay. So I'm going to show you what that looks like inside of Ads Manager. Okay. So what you're going to do is go ahead and open up your campaign. You're going to name your campaign name, as I've already done here. I like to just kind of name it based off of the month, engagement, messages, PDF opt-ins, whatever your opt-in is going to be. Then from there, you want to go ahead and change your campaign to engagement. I've already started setting this up, but there was an issue with the leads. So go ahead and click engagement. Go ahead and click next. So you're going to name your ad set. We're going to use lookalike 5% for right now. Then from there, you want the conversion location to be inside of the messaging app. Okay. So go ahead and change that. You want to make sure you uncheck Messenger and make sure it's just Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and set your budget. So for this example, we're just going to run audience at $15 a day. Then from there, we're going to set the start date for the next day. I like to start it at like 12:01 a.m. just so it has a full day. And I usually try to start my ads between Monday and Friday. I try not to start them on the weekends. You don't want to do any end date. Then from here, what you want to go down to is your audience. So it's probably going to be hidden, but you want to make sure you switch to original audience options. Okay. Then from here, what you're going to do is you are going to go ahead and I'm going to walk you through how to set up a lookalike audience. So a lookalike audience is if you already have an audience on like Instagram. If you don't already have an audience, that's fine. Actually, what I'm going to do is show you this lookalike audience, and then also show you how to do a targeted audience. So let's do the lookalike audience first. So what you're going to do is go ahead and you're going to click create new. And click create new lookalike audience. And then you're going to have to go into create new source. You're going to create a new source from a custom audience. You're going to use your Instagram account. The easiest way to do it. And then you're going to use anybody who has engaged with this professional account for the last 365. Okay. So I just say all engaged 365. And there's other options. But we're going to, for simplicity's sake, you can go down, you can see accounts who started following, engage, visits profile. I'm just doing anyone who's engaged to keep it really simple. I'm going to click create audience. Then from there, I'm going to create a lookalike audience. So I like to kind of start with a 5%, click create audience. Okay, so it's going to take a little bit to populate. Don't worry if it says like, you may not get any results, so don't freak out. You will, just let it be. So then from there, it's going to pop up as a custom audience. So now it's going to target anybody that's ever engaged with your account in the last year, and then anybody that looks similar to those people that have engaged with your account. Okay, so if you have an audience that's already been nurtured, they're warm, like you have at least like usually at least 1,000 people, that's going to be a really good sample size for you to create a lookalike audience. Okay, so that's where I would start. I would uncheck this box. We don't want to go outside of the audience. And then from there, make sure you put in your age. I usually stick with US and Canada for most of my clients. And then I put in the age of usually 24 to like 55. You want to try to have at least 25 to 30 years of age, like an age gap, because the more that you narrow your audience, the more expensive your ads will get. So don't over narrow. Then from there, you want to pick your gender. I will pick female. And then don't touch anything here. Change your languages to English. Perfect. So that's going to populate. And then what you're going to go ahead and do is I just usually keep the advantage placements on for Instagram because it's all usually the exact audiences that I want. So leave that there. You're going to click next. Okay. Then from there, this is kind of what I was talking about. You can basically use, once you go on that content sprint, you're going to find the content that worked the best, and then you're going to pull it into your ads manager. So reel with, green background, because I know which one, based off of my data, which one performed really well. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab that ad. So first thing I'm going to do is go down to use existing posts. I'm going to uncheck multi-advertiser ads. Then I'm going to select post. I see it already here. So just so you can see, I'm going to click select posts. I'm going to go into Instagram. I'm going to go to my reels specifically to find it quicker. Then from there, I'm gonna just click on the actual ad. So if it ever has like a red mark, it'll tell you that like this is too long or it's copyrighted, or you can't use copyrighted music, etc. But the one I want to use is this one down here. I'm already actually running it currently as an ad. I'll click continue. So then from there, voila, you have your previous content pulled in so you can start running it as an ad. So from there, what we're going to do is turn off these enhancements. I hate these enhancements. I'm going to turn them all off. I'm going to click save. They don't do anything. And then from there, we're going to use a messaging template. So what you can do is we're going to do start conversations. And if you have a, Manychat automation set up, click edit. And then you can just go ahead and filter in, put your keyword in here. Whatever your keyword is, you could just say, click send on the word, click send on the whatever your keyword is, and then you can click save. From there, you'll check your pixel, and then you'll publish. So that's basically your ad setup in a nutshell, okay? So let me kind of walk back through the audiences though. If you don't have a specific audience, right? So you don't have like a big audience or it's not necessarily full of your ideal clients. What you can do is you could just use different targeting. Okay, so I'm going to X out of these. I'm going to take these out of here. And I would only put one audience, one type of audience together. So I wouldn't put your lookalike and these interests together. I would just do one at a time. So what we're going to do is scroll down to advanced detail targeting. So for example, say I'm a real estate investing coach, I would target real estate options, like real estate industry. I would target real estate investor. You have the job titles, you have the interests. You can target like real estate wholesaler. There's so many different things that you can target. Okay, so just you want to start, and you can use the suggestions button to find more. What's really cool though is you want to make sure you get this audience as close to 10 million as possible or a little bit over, just because the smaller the audience, in my opinion, the harder it is to find your ideal client. So definitely do that. And then once you're done, you're going to go ahead and click. Once you set up your audiences, you're going to click publish, and then your ads will be scheduled to go live the time that you set it up. So let's kind of back it up here though. Like I said, you want to actually optimize. You want to do engagement and then optimize, and then for messenger conversations and uncheck messenger and leave Instagram checked. Okay. Because you don't want them to go to Facebook. You just want them to go to Instagram. Ad spend, I would say start around $15 to $30 per day. Be sure to use those original audiences like we talked about. If you already have an engaged audience, definitely do a lookalike audience and start that at $15 a day. If your budget is $20 or more, split up your budget in half, 10 and 10. Do one lookalike audience at 5% and then one audience that's over like 10 million. Then from there, like I said, I use all the original, I use all the recommended Instagram placements. And then here's some of the ad creative that I would recommend. So you can take a screenshot here, but carousels right now are working really well. And what's working well from a carousel ad perspective is exactly explaining exactly like, here's exactly how I got X, Y, Z results. So one of my best performing ads right now is here's exactly how I enrolled 10 to 15 coaching clients per month in my group coaching program. That one's working really well. And then the DM, I go through the slides, you get 10 carousels as of right now. And I go through and explain exactly how I get that result. And then I'm like, if you want to learn how, you can come watch my free lead magnet. That one's working really well. And then Reels, there's a couple different ones here. The one that I have a client running right now is point of view, your target client. And then me saying like, I'm going to show you exactly how I got X, Y, or Z result in X, Y time. This is how you make things really tangible, you guys. You have to make it tangible, okay? So when you're doing Reels, use B-roll that's like bright and airy. Use videos of you with like negative space. So like right now, I have negative space on both sides. So like I could put text in a reel. When you're running a reel, you want to try to be more to one side in the reel or to the other side, or you want to have like space above so you can write the text, okay? So make sure that you have that. It's called negative space, and keep it really bright and airy. And then another one is working as far as Reels, kind of like the one I just showed you. Let me go back here. This is the actual, I created it organically 6 days ago and we're running it as an ad and it's crushing it right now. Is I enroll 10 to 15 clients per month without all the things that my clients don't want to do. And then the call to action is further to comment or DM me the word autopilot. Okay. So that's how that's working out and shaking up. And then I can show you guys exactly. I'm going to pause my screen here, but I'm going to show you like what that's looking like in one of my ad sets. It's working really well. So I run my ads to US, Canada, Australia. For if you're just starting out, just choose just choose US to start. But then from there, as you get better and better with ads, you can start running them to different countries. I like US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand for my primary countries that I run ads to. And then that ad I just showed you, it's already running. It's running at a $10 a day, really low, but you can kind of see we've gotten 10 leads so far at a cost of $4.57 per lead. And that is really awesome. That one's in Australia, New Zealand. The one in US is around like $8 to $9. So it's crushing it and it's doing really well. Okay, so here are some of the key metrics to track. So there's going to be 4 key metrics that I want you to track when you're running your ads. A, you want to track your lead costs. So if you're a B2C, health, relationship, life coach, communication coach, things like that, then you want to keep your cost per lead below $12. If you are B2B, right, you serve other agencies, you're a business coach, marketing, sales, assisted living, real estate, people like that, below $15 is ideal. Cost per call. This is one of the major costs that you need to track, right? And you get this number simply, you get lead costs by looking inside of the ads manager. You can see results here, messaging conversation, 457. So I'm in KPI there. Now to track some of these a little bit more advanced, and the pixel's not always right. I still recommend you having the pixel, like I said earlier, but if you want to track this a little bit better, definitely have your pixel installed. But you can do this by doing it manually. It's not that hard. So you're going to take the total amount of money you spent on ads for the week, right? I track this on a 7-day, 14-day, 30-day basis. You're going to take the total amount of money you spent on ads, and then you want to correlate it to, okay, if I spent $300 this week on ads and I got 3 calls booked, that means I've spent $100 to get a call booked, which is great. That's the number that you want to be at, because if you got 10 calls for $1,000, you know that your closing rate based off what you've done in the past, you closed 2 or 3. That means that for every $1,000 you spent, your program is $4K, you've made $8K or $12K, right? So you got to keep these numbers in line. B2C, you want to keep your calls below 150, B2B, $300 or less. And those numbers vary. It depends on the offer, it depends on the market, it depends on your ad spend, your creative. There's so many different factors, but these are general industry standards that you want to abide by. Cost per acquisition, you want to try to keep that, cost per application, similar to calls, but if you're doing an application funnel, these are the numbers I recommend. Now, this is the most important number, in my opinion, out of every number you could think of when it comes to running ads, especially if you're only running less than like $10,000 in ads a month. This is the most important number. What does it cost you to get a new client? Period. B2C, $1,000 or less up to a 4K offer. Okay. So if your offer is $4,000, you cannot spend more than $1,000 on that acquisition. Okay. B2B, you're a business coach, etc. If your offer is $10,000, you should not be spending more than $2,500 to acquire that client. How do you get that number, Latisse? Great question. You take the total amount of money that you spend on ads divided by how many clients you've gotten enrolled. So let's just say, right, if I spent $3,000 this month on ads and I enrolled 3 new clients from my ads, my CPA, cost per acquisition, is $1,000. And these are all hypothetical numbers, okay? And I've seen these numbers before, but right now these are hypothetical. If my cost per acquisition is $1,000 and my program is $6,000, right? I now have effectively a 6x return on my ad spend total, right? Now we need to calculate cash depending on payment plans, etc. But like that's the goal. Does that beat the 4x rule? Yes. Did I 4x my money? Yes. That means that's a profitable ad. Keep running it. Okay. Now, if it cost me $4,000 to get a $6,000 client, is that profitable? Hell no. Turn it off. Start over. Okay. But usually, if that's happening, that means there's an issue with if your lead costs are good, if your KPIs are good on that front, your cost per call, your cost per lead is good, but then you're struggling to close. That means you have a positioning and offer and sales issue that you need to fix. Okay. So that's it, you guys. That's the strategy, right? We want to maintain a 4x return on ad spend and a 2x on cash collected. That's it. That's what's working right now. So it's really all about volume. And we are in the business of lead generation, whether you like it or not, period. Okay. So whoever can generate the most amount of leads is going to win in this economy and win in this market. And if you've been holding yourself back from running ads, like I need you to understand, like you can't, right? Because at the end of the day, the algorithm is not algorithming in the way that we want it to. And at the end of the day, you cannot afford, and your clients cannot afford for you to just be waiting around for them to find you, because they can't, right? So my best recommendation for you guys is if you're a high ticket coach and you're like, Latisse, I want to learn this system, I want to learn more in depth, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram with the word info, or check the link out below for our signature offer, Leads on Autopilot. It sounds like what it is. We help you generate leads on autopilot for your high ticket offers and premium services. And we do this in a very automated, simple way. But if you're just like, I just need help with the ads portion, check out Ads That Convert, which is my workshop below, and I'll walk you through the basics of how to set the strategy up. Okay. So like I said, we've been running ads since the end of 2019, and I've kind of learned a thing or two. And if I could give you guys any advice before we wrap up this video, is that speed wins. right? So the quicker that you can test, the quicker that you can kill ads that aren't working, the quicker you can get up new creative, the quicker that you can move people through the funnel, the more money you will make, the more wealth you will create, and the more lives you will change, okay? Ads are not hard. They're actually very easy once you learn the whole process. It's just like any other skill. This is a skill that nobody can ever take away from you. And I'm a huge fan of people learning how to do this themselves. So, if you have any questions about this, but hopefully you found this really helpful. And definitely be sure to subscribe and give me a like if you like this video. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.